everyone and welcome back. It's Gina from orchidandopal.com, and today I have the Beads to Live By subscription package to open up with you all. They have 3 different options now, and I should have inside this one the seed bead variety and also their newer 2-hole bead variety. And on their website, you'll also find the vintage button collection subscription option, and links to everything will be listed right down below the video, so it'll take you to those subscriptions. And they also have their own bead store and special monthly add-on packs for their beads, such as strands of single hole check glass and other items that will complement your subscription package. So let's go ahead and open this one up and see what we have inside. Alright, so here is a peek at the 2-hole variety for the month. We'll take a closer look at those in just a little bit. And then this should be our selection of seed beads for February. So let's see what is in here and get a peek at our color palette. So here's a look at the package overall. If you're interested in signing up to this one, every month you'll get 8 bags containing 10 grams of size 11-0 round seed beads in brands such as Miyuki or very comparable to that. But you can find these specific codes that correspond to everything you receive on their website. So even though the bags aren't specifically labeled, they'll have that information there for you, and you can always order more of these if you'd like to. And by searching that corresponding code, it should bring you to the exact color name and brand that we have. So it looks like here we have a sort of fresh spring-like palette with several shades of greens and some other coordinating colors. What I'll do now is I will add these to one of those divided containers. That way we can check out all these different colors up close, one at a time. So here is a look at all of these 8 different varieties together in this very spring-like selection. This particular subscription, it starts at $18.99 per month plus shipping, but it goes down in price if you sign up for a longer period of time. But again, all those details you can find on their website. And if you sign up today or the day this video is coming out, which is after the 17th of the month, you'll be signing up for the next month's subscription package. So it won't be this particular selection, but this just gives you an idea of the types of things you can expect to come in your monthly packages. So here's a closer look at our first color, which is a frosty, very bright lime green that even looks to have a solid colored lining, maybe in a light yellow or white. And the glass itself is, of course, transparent, but the matte coating that it has makes those not as shiny and glossy. So that's one variety of green. And then our next one overall gives us a deeper olive green appearance, but they have that similar to a Picasso coating, it looks like. So a little bit of a mottled appearance, not all being exactly the same, and providing some variety to what looks to be a deep green colored transparent glass underneath that coating. And they also seem to have a lining inside as well. But overall giving us some deeper green in this selection. Then we come to this very light golden yellow, and this one seems to have that silver metallic lining inside, which adds a little bit of sparkle to what may be the alabaster variety, which is sort of like an opal-like, not quite opaque, but not quite transparent, creamy colored glass. And then next we have a classic, crisp and shiny opaque white. Definitely one of the neutrals to add to some of these other colorful selections. And then to mix it up and add to our many different greens, we've got a couple other shades like this beautiful purple that's also in a frosty matte finish and seems to have a light AB coating that gives a subtle glow of a rainbow of colors to the outer surface, which is a bit more subtle than our next variety, which is in this greenish teal color, also in a matte finish with its toned down iridescent shine. on the surface. Next up, we have another green variety, this time in a softer, more sage-like color. And up close, you can see that they have a colorful lining inside, which looks to be sort of bluish, with that green frosty glass having a very light olive green appearance with a yellow undertone. And then to wrap it up, here is our 8th variety in a light olive green. And these also have a solid color lining, maybe a mint green lining, and no additional coating on top that I can tell. So we're able to see that lining really well in this particular type. So I think we have another really fun mix here with a group of colors, once again, that could really work well together. 11O seed beads are, of course, really common, especially in bead weaving projects, with lots of projects being able to be completed just with size 11 seed beads alone. So getting a selection like this on a monthly basis is really handy because you end up with a decent stash of all different colors to pull from over time that you can have ready to go to use in a project, or of course you can use these all together in the palette that they're suggesting right away. And then to complement the seed bead subscription, they're now offering the 2-hole sub that follows the same type of color palette, so it makes it pretty cohesive if you wanted to combine these beads together into a project. And to give you an example, here's 2 different bracelet varieties from last month's selection of seed beads and 2-hole beads that I was able to put together just to give you an idea of some of the things that you can actually make when you put both the seed beads and some of those 2-hole beads together. So with this one, every month you're going to get the same 5 types of 2-hole beads. We have the strand of studs here with the flat base and that more pointed top. You saw those show up in that one bracelet example. But the colors are going to change every month. So this month we have these in a satiny olive green sort of pearl variety. And then next you're going to get a strand of the 2-hole tile beads, with this month's selection really complementing our palette of seed bead colors really well. This combining some of the purple with the green, that purple showing up on one side and that green coming through more on the other, with a subtle hint of a metallic shine on top of these smooth and glossy beads. And all of these having about 25 pieces on the strands, I believe, until we get to the lentils. I think those have 50. And then here's our variety of 2-hole daggers. Aren't these stunning with the etched feather design? They have a black opaque glass base, and of course that etching shows up with all those electric blues and violet and other metallic hints coming through, and that etching showing up on both sides. And these, of course, being the 2-hole dagger varieties in this particular subscription, but being in the size of the standard and more common 1-hole dagger shape. So here are those lentil beads. Those, of course, are smaller, more compressed, so they're able to fit more on one strand of this variety. And our variation this time around is so pretty. I see some transparent aqua, and I guess that's what's making up the entire base of the bead. And then we have a metallic showing up on one side. So there's a look at these up close on their strand, these circular shaped discs with the 2 holes running through the face. And you can see how these combine the greens and some of that aqua or teal color together, bringing in some of the teal that we saw in the seed bead selection. And then the 5th variety that you can expect to see is the Silky Bead style, which is similar to the check glass 2-hole tiles, but these are set at an angle to sit in more of a diamond shape, and you'll see a strand of those showing up in your package as well. For this one, we have a clear glass with a really glossy appearance and the AB Aurora Borealis coating. It looks like I'm seeing the rainbow of colors coming through as the light's hitting these in different angles. So these, of course, are pretty neutral. They'd go with a lot of different things, but some of that AB coating is really picking up some of those greens and purple that we have going on in the seed bead selection. So that's another gorgeous combination and super compliments for our seed beads. And then what's not shown is if you decide to, you can add on their check glass bead companion. So if you wanted to get some coordinating single hole beads on different strands as well, you can opt to add that on to your subscription. If you're interested in checking out their vintage button collection variety, I have shared a few of those in some of the earliest Beads to Live By unboxings, so just check back in the playlist at the first 3 or 4 videos and you'll see what that looks like. Another option for you to subscribe to if you enjoy getting these types of monthly surprises and doses of inspiration. I do want to add that as soon as I can, I'll be doing a tutorial for this particular bracelet and maybe even this one in the future, but this one is one I'd like to share sooner rather than later, and it includes the Silky Beads and of course some 11/0 seed beads in 2 different colors, and the only thing I added outside of these 2 subscriptions are some fire polish beads in the 4mm size, in place of which you could also use most other single hole 4mm size beads. But that's just to say there are projects that go along with the beads that you see here, not just some that I may come out with in the future, but also Beads to Live By. If you check their channel, they're sharing projects as well with tutorials you can follow that go along with the beads that you receive that month. The 2-hole bead subscription and the buttons, they're both around the $18-ish price point as well, just like the seed beads, so they're all pretty similar in price. And all the details, of course, are on their website, which I have linked right down below the video, so be sure to follow that and read more about what they have to offer, and also check out their bead shop as well. I look forward to incorporating these beads into future projects, and I thank you all so much for being with me. I enjoy having you sharing in these unboxings, and I hope you enjoyed it too. So if you did, feel free to give the video a big thumbs up. Also, leave a comment down below. I always love to hear from you. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because I'd love to have you back. And that way you'll be notified of future tutorials that potentially include these beads and finished jewelry updates, the next of which should come out pretty soon. But that's all I have for this time. I'll see you all again next time. And until then, I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. And as always, happy beading.